Okay, Credo. Today we have the September Clash, and we have RGCommander versus Tapeworm, and their round one play.
Yes, and I'm Kirito here with Clinton, and we'll be commentating the game. Hope everyone enjoys.
Yeah. So far, let's go through the list that they brought. It looks like RGCommander has brought Hokusai, Yami, Estrida, Takali, Akudi, and Nelliclen.
And Tapeworm has Hogosai, Akimo, Setharu, Yami, Sakoshi, and Kichi.
It's a little red and yellow action going on. It looks like
Yep.
Tapeworm has brought the Dark Vigilante as his outsider, while RG Commander has brought the Silent Ambassador.
Yep. And I'm sure Commander is happy to see no Kenwi on Tapeworm's side,
Yes,
because as everyone knows, he's a huge fan of Kenwi.
huge fan.
Wouldn't it have been funny if he had brought Kenwi?
I think we heard rumors in the Discord saying that Tapeworm was thinking about making a substitution just for this match, just some special attention and love to RG
Yeah, just
Commander.
even if it isn't good, just to throw him off his game, you know?
Hmm.
So the victory conditions that were pulled for this game, for people who aren't aware, at the Ashen Pass we are using victory conditions now. So we have Onslaught and the Tamer.
And the
So
Tamer.
kill 3 heroes or kill heroes twice with outsiders.
It looks like we're having a Hokusai mirror match here. Tapeworm picking Hokusai as his first pick, and RG Commander also picking Hokusai as his first pick.
Lots of lots of burning happening.
My guess is there's going to be lots of attacking going on. RG
Yeah.
Commander brought Hokusai's best friend ever, Yami, putting her on the other side. Interesting that the two melee characters are kind of in the back and not taking that front position.
Yeah, I mean the middle can kind of get a little crowded with minions sometimes, so maybe
Sure.
he's thinking, the melee guys can actually get places more around the sides. Not that the middle is further away.
Yeah, that opener usually, I feel like you see a lot of people put that Yami in that center position, giving her a better opportunity to try to get fast or something and move through a minion to kill it before doing something else. Then it looks like Tapeworm has picked up Sakoshi as his third member of his team.
And it was a chemo there as well.
Oh yes, we didn't talk about Akimo. Yes, Akimo right there in
Uh,
center. So far all
so
red
so
characters.
so no Yami on his side though. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Only
If I
only
had to
one.
guess, my guess he's going to bring one of the mages. He's going to be either Setharu or Kichi. I would lean probably more towards the Setharu to try to finish things off and maybe give him some access to some good cards in his deck.
Yeah. It's interesting though with Hogosai out there as one of the first heroes that Tapeworm didn't go with them and one of the mages to start. I
Yeah,
guess
but
I
you
guess
can
that actually
with
kind of makes
onslaught
sense.
you can
It's
ignore
the mage to come in later. Yeah.
Hokusai the whole match and never attack him because you only got to get 3 of the 4 heroes to get the victory condition. Also, we have
Right.
Tamer that's out there. If you can win the dome, maybe win both domes and kill 2 heroes in the same round. That'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Also, the mages are kind of squishy, and Commander's gonna be going after some kills early, so it might make sense to have the mage come in later to take more advantage of those direct damage spells too.
Yeah, do the finish off, and they get more mana by the time they come in. Most likely, you're
Exactly.
looking at round maybe 2 or 3 by the time the mages come in, allowing for them to cast more of those cards, uh, basically simultaneously to get the kill before they even get into range.
Yep. Well, Uh, I know both of these. Well, I know Commander's deck has a fairly good flips. So he likes to do flips, and the Silent Ambassador can do a lot of damage on flips, just like the Dark Vigilante can. And I'm assuming, based on the Dark Vigilante and some of the heroes picked, that Tapeworm also has a high flip deck. So lots of high flips and damage should be very bloody game.
Interesting. Picking up Takali actually as
Ooh.
his third pick. That's very interesting without having any real um, victory conditions with Tactician or anything. I find that as a very interesting
Yeah,
play, actually. And Eloquin
I do
is
too.
the
That is
fourth.
bizarre.
Uh-oh, someone hit the undo
Um,
button.
did someone lose their deck?
I don't know what happened, but someone hit the undo button.
Dang it, Giacomo.
We'll try to get in position here again so people can see a little better.
Someone probably deleted something they shouldn't have.
That's
That
why
would
you
be my
always use the
guess.
trash can when you can.
Yeah, it's so much effort though. I'm wondering if maybe he's thinking, Tapeworm's going to be going after the heroes a lot, and so maybe Tlakali can kind of just pressure the Nexus and maybe get like a sneak in a Nexus victory.
Yeah, like I said, it's very interesting without having Tactician out there and having two other kill conditions. The contention for the Dome is going to be a very important part of this match, I think, because of Tamer. Also, can you do me a favor, Karito? Can you move the Silent Ambassador over to the left-hand side so we know what dome it's attached to?
Yep, I got it. And
And then,
also,
that way we know that the Dark Vigilante is on the right dome, and we have Silent Ambassador on the left. The resolve order can matter from time to time. Looks like Silent Ambassador would actually be able to activate first before the Dark Vigilante.
yes, that is correct. The only other reason I could think of for bringing Tlakali is if there are like certain cards that he has in that deck that he really wants for this game.
Maybe heals. His heals might be inside of Takali, thinking it's
Ooh,
going to be a bloodbath, playing
that makes
sacrifices,
sense.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Also,
mean,
he might
the
be
only
having his presence there because he wants to win those domes.
right.
And
I mean,
but at the same time,
he
Tapeworm
brought
does have
Nelliquin
the
too.
flux, so we're not going to see a turn one presence though.
Oh yes, Tapeworm is the first player and does have access to the flux, so that'll allow him to go with like a turn one presence or turn two sinkhole stuff like that. While
Well, he isn't playing any blue
Commander,
characters, so we won't see the presence on that side turn one.
that is very true. We will not see a turn one presence. But could see, I don't know, turn one Burning Rage or something. I don't know what he runs in his deck, but
I could see maybe a little bit of an extension if you need to throw one more Nightmares Incarnate or something like that to maybe kill, but his mage is sitting out. So I doubt that's going to happen. My guess is you're going to wait until probably round two, round three to see that flux to be used. And it'll probably be used at an opportune time, or maybe it won't be used at all because of what's going to happen in this match with, like I said, the attacks and skirmishes that'll probably happen.
do we know who actually won the toss?
I do not know who won the toss.
Okay. I'm wondering if Tapeworm chose the first player and wanted the flux, or if Commander chose second player and gave him the flux.
That's a great question that we can ask him afterwards if we talk to him.
Yes. But yeah, so Commander being the second player won't get access to 2 mana spells on turn one or 3 mana spells on turn two, but does get the last activation, can see where people went and figure out where to go.
Looks like
To
Tapeworm did win the coin flip. He said in chat he won the coin flip,
Yes.
so he chose to pick first player.
Okay. So he either wants to be able to get a chance to kill heroes before they get a chance to activate, or he has some plans for the flux.
Makes sense with Onslaught being on the board. So what is your call, Karito? What do you think? What's the win condition we're going to see here?
I'm gonna predict. Oof. You know what? I feel like Tamer doesn't happen too much, but I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna predict Tamer.
Tamer round what? Round two?
Yeah, yeah. I'll go round two Tamer.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I will
That's
do Onslaught round three. That's my prediction for the game. Potentially early
both of
round three,
these.
right? Like,
Both of these,
first activation.
yeah, both of these outsiders have can deal a lot of damage and can with a lot of high flips, and both decks have a lot of high flips, so I could see it happening.
So it looks like Tapeworm has activated Sakoshi. Looks like he did a skirmish, it looks like.
Yeah, if they could use
And
the action
attack.
buttons, that would be nice.
It looks like Takali was trying to do a stone barricade, but because he would be he isn't adjacent to the spot of the minion he was attacking, he was unable and actually pulled that card back into his hand. So, and then finally, it looks like we got Sakoshi with a lead from deck. So right now that puts us at a
What are
so,
they doing?
um, maybe just trying to fix the HUD or something. Not
Uh,
sure.
I don't think there's any problems with the HUD. Okay, there we go. So,
We got a
all right.
Yami activation. His Yami skirmishes. She's gonna move probably through a minion, taking that center spot. Good placement, because it might make it a little bit harder for some of the melee guys to get in there. However, killing that minion opens it back up again.
Yep. And then killing the other one right there,
Yep,
that's right in front.
just open it
I
up.
think killing the
Says
one on the left side
Akimo,
would make a
come
little
come
more
get me.
sense, but I don't think it really makes a difference. That actually that allows a chemo to skirmish into Yami.
Uh, I foresee Hokusai activating first to get that
Yep, I think that would make a
worship
lot of sense.
onto Yami. Maybe is what I expect to see with the next activation.
So I believe Sakoshi did a skirmish, an attack to kill a minion, and then a lead from deck. He didn't use the action button, so I don't know for sure, but that's what it looked like.
Correct.
Yep. So Hokusai is going to move up. Probably going to worship on Yami and attack Yami, would be my guess.
Yep. So it was a move, worship, and then probably attack. I could see maybe skirmish, do a little bit of attack, move into the dome, contest that dome over there to get him the Dark Vigilante.
And by the way, in case people aren't aware of stuff that have been going on with in the community, that Tapeworm had some flooding going on, so he's actually using a trackpad instead of a normal mouse. So if he is a little slow and has any difficulties with that, that's why.
Yeah.
And I believe there's also a GoFundMe out there for
Yep,
all
there
these
is
done for
a
the
GoFundMe.
community.
It's in the announcement page of the Discord. His computer that does all the mods and everything with got damaged. So community, if you guys have something to help out, it's great to support him and help him. It was very unfortunate, and he still has to fix his basement. And as a father, I understand you got to take care of your family and stuff first before you can, buy the toys and the things you use for your hobbies.
Yeah, and he's done so much for this community. And
Last
thanks again
action,
for all you've done.
yeah, last action there also was Hogasai moving into the dome. So he did that move, worship, and then skirmish, bringing Yami down to 12 hit points.
Yep, and my guess is Yami's going to be taking a lot of damage from a chemo pretty soon.
Yep. Wondering if maybe there's a strength over pain in hand or something like that to give the chemo that frenzy. Maybe take
Yep.
Yami out round one.
Could also potentially see a Flux with a Burning Rage. I don't know if he runs that or not.
Yeah, we did not get their decks beforehand, so
This was
Takali
kind of
activated.
a last minute plan to record. It wasn't really planned.
Yep. Got a worship, move into the dome, and lead from hand. So RG Commander should win that dome pretty easily there. Um, Even if it's a one, I'm curious if he uh, put a three down. Um,
Could also see a chemo going with like a skirmish into Yami and then an attack, but maybe with a frenzy another attack and then moving into that dome. Although I guess he would need to
He'd
have a
be
lead to really win it.
yeah, he'd be short one action point to be able to do the lead there. He'd have to give up that attack, and I think with
Yep.
having onslaught on the board in a chemo in a skirmish attack situation, it's too tempting probably to go over to that dome to make sure you win it.
Right. He could try and move a chemo into the other one.
Okay, so we got to move. He's skirmish. He's doing it. He's doing the skirmish to probably attack
Oh, he's going for
Yami, or is
Tsukali now.
he attacking Takali with the attack? Flips a two, and that was against Takali. And
With
then my
Tsukali having
guess
one
is he has
marker.
to lead with the last one. If he leads there, it's going to get him the dome if they're both threes.
Yeah. Also, with that positioning, Hogosai can't get into that dome right now, so he's assuming he led with a three, or yeah, assuming he led with a three. Tapeworm has guaranteed that he wins the dome.
Yep. Most likely, we're going to see Hogazai probably take that left dome. It's going to be
Yep.
hard for him to maybe get in range. He can maybe move out there to kill that last minion and then skirmish into the dome if he moves right next to Yami.
Yeah. That's what I expect to see here.
Yeah. Like I said, those winning those domes, it's another activation of another hero that's not really on the board, so they can be valuable. And he did do the lead there as his final action.
I think it's amusing that both of them have their mage as their reserve.
Yeah, I think it's for that final kill. Like I said, having more mana for mages kind of makes sense to give them
Right, exactly.
more
You don't
burn
want them
cards
to
from
fall
hand.
before they have a chance to use their mana because they can really take advantage of that, especially Neliclin.
Yep.
Give Neliclin a lot of mana and he can do some nasty stuff.
Yeah, especially with his ability to clear up and basically has a built-in mind palace.
And we have another spectator joining us.
Looks like we have Michael joining us. He probably doesn't know that we're commentating in here.
Yeah, he'll figure it out eventually. Or not.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to go over to RGCommander. His activation is going to activate his Hokusai.
I'm gonna. It's a good idea if I like and flip over that aren't in there, so the HUD show them as having not activated, or
Yeah, you can
should we just leave it?
exhaust them. Just tap them 90 degrees and it'll exhaust them.
Yep, it's gonna do that for the sake of the HUD.
Yep.
I usually like to flip them over too, so it's obvious that that's the one that isn't in. But that's just a personal preference. I don't know if that would annoy them or not.
Yeah. Um, I think flipping over might be a little bit more annoying. I think they kind of realize why it's
Yeah,
turned.
yeah.
Also, seeing it looks like Nelakin Quinn has been scaled up model there in the bottom right as his RGCommander's cheerleader.
Yeah. He's trying to look intimidating there.
And Setharu's just looking off into the distance and not paying attention to what's happening behind him.
Yeah, it doesn't care about this fight.
Yep.
He's already thinking about the next one.
Yeah. On to the next one. RG
So
Commander
Commander is
is
thinking.
thinking. He's like, do I make sure I win the lane? Do I try to get this dome?
I think he has to go for the dome. I think.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will lose. Uh, Seeing as Yami hasn't led, as Sagoshi did, uh, there's a good chance probably that Tapeworm is going to win the center. With Tamer and Onslaught out, I don't know if that matters too much.
So if he kills the minion before going into the dome, he will have 3 there, while Sakoshi just a 1 and a lead from deck.
Yep.
So I think even if, like we need a 2 to tie, and I don't know what kinds of mana cost he has in the deck, but I think even if he just kills the minion, moves into the dome, he has a fair chance of winning or at least tying in the center.
I think I agree.
Well, who knows? It could be a 0.
Yep.
Leading from deck with a 0. That's nothing that ever happens, right?
Never happens. Not even when you're playing in the World's Qualifier, and it's what made the difference. Oh,
Oh,
killed the minion with Nelequin's ultimate popping out.
yeah. That's not when you want to be flipping those ultimates.
Yeah, so that was a move skirmish attack. He missed the attack action there, but that's the only way he was able to take out that minion.
Yeah, that was a move attack skirmish. You just missed the button.
Yep, yep,
So basically, what we were expecting he would do.
yep. Oh, oh, we got a sneak peek of what's in the other one. Ooh, he only had a 1. That means
Yeah. So he
RG
is gonna
wins it.
win the center. He being commander, yeah.
So that kind of reconfirms RGCommander's move to go into the dome. Um, that it was worth it because he also got to win the lane, kind of pushing that control point forward, keeping pressure on Tapeworm's tower. He will get to choose where to place the Silent Ambassador, which has to be placed anywhere adjacent to the dome perimeter.
Specifically, that dome's
It
perimeter.
does have to be the left dome. It cannot be on the other side. Um, Tapeworm now getting to spawn the Dark Vigilante, which has to be adjacent to the tower or nexus. At this stage, he was able to either spawn it at RGCommander's nexus, or he was able to actually spawn it at his own nexus because there are no minions or heroes around that tower yet.
Yeah, that first turn was a lot less bloody than I expected, so I don't know about that turn 2 tamer anymore.
Yeah, that might be a tough one. Onslaught turn 3, that's what we're doing. So it looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Silent Ambassador did an attack
I
on
think it'll
Sakoshi.
either be tamer or onslaught turn 3. I don't think I think either one of them will turn 3, but nothing's gonna no one's gonna win before turn 3. I think.
Sure. So that was an attack. He's got a couple different things he can do. My guess is he's probably going to do the AoE, the Stone Storm, place AoE within 2 hex, dealing 1 damage. It is enemy heroes, so he's going to put a little more pressure onto that Sakoshi. Doing 1 plus a flip, that's 3 damage more to Sakoshi. Him not having armor puts him down to a 7. And then that also applies slow to that enemy. And then the
So
last,
that was attack stone storm so far, right?
yeah, it was attack, and then Stone Storm, and then the final one might be a skirmish
Might
or maybe wormhole.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking it might be a predict.
looks like he did a wormhole.
Yep, swapped Hogosai and Yami.
Put Hokusai into the center, Yami into the dome.
Probably to keep to have Yami further away from the Dark Vigilante.
Yeah, yeah. It also, I think, maybe protects her a little bit more from being seen by other people.
Yeah. I kind of would have thought it might have been a good idea if he had swapped Yami with Tapeworm Sakoshi.
Yeah, to put Sakoshi into the dome.
To put Sakoshi in the center there, so Yami would be
Oh,
up where Sakoshi
I
now in
see what
that
you're
cover
saying.
head.
Sorry.
Um,
Tapeworm looks like he skirmished, dealing piercing damage, and flipped a 3 on Hokusai. I think is what that's happening there.
yep, done right. One thing that just occurred to me is they each have a Hogosai, and no one's heroes are tinted, so that could become a little confusing.
I would right click and tint the Tapeworm Hokusai as red, and then tint the RGCommander as blue.
Yeah, I don't know how they want them tinted though.
We'll just do
I'm
red
just
and blue because that's
I'll,
the
I'll
the
just
color game.
I'll just ask. I'll just say something in chat for them to do it. That way they can have it tinted how they want it to.
Sure, that's fine. So it looks like he did. What did he do? He did a piercing. I think he did the skirmish with piercing, skirmish +1, and an attack on Hokusai. So taking his Hokusai, which I think started out at 17 down to 7, dealing about 10 damage.
Yeah, it looks like it went from 17 to 14, 14 to 10, and then 10 to 7. So it might have been the attack before the second skirmish, but
Yep. Maybe put in a situation where next round might be able to kill Hokusai with the Dark Vigilante, or even kill um, Sakoshi for the Tamer position, victory condition.
all right. So we have a Tapeworm Tokusai. Oh, they're both tinted now. There we go. That is a very deep blue. That is the bluest Hogosai I've ever seen. feeling a little blue.
Yep. Oh, almost even black there, where you can't even see it. At least we can tell which one it is. So we got Tapeworm's
Yeah.
Hokusai still over in the right dome as the red Hokusai, and then right in the center we got RGCommander's blue Hokusai.
And now we're gonna go into round 2. I'm gonna go move the round marker for them.
Then also probably tap their Setharu, and looks
Yep.
like Tapeworm is playing Impervious. So does that mean he's... No, Akimo is playing Impervious.
By the way, I would just like to point out what I was saying before the game about how the round tracker doesn't seem to work on the HUD on Ashen Pass. It still says it's 1,
Oh
but
yeah.
the token's clearly on 2.
Well, we might have to wait a little bit till that fixes it.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned it before the game, and then they tried it and it worked fine. So who knows?
So, right, that's Hokusai? No, sorry. Akimo cast. Oh, okay. I see what probably you're gonna see a shield slam here, I assume. Hokusai plays Stone Barricade. No, Takali plays Stone Barricade. Yeah, he's going to the center. He's killing Hokusai here. He's got piercing, so he's gonna deal 4 damage with a shield slam. That's what I'm calling it right now. 4 damage with shield slam plus the attack
Yeah, yeah. Oh
and
yeah, I see
skirmish.
that. So Akimo played the impervious
Oh,
targeting
we
Hogos.
got 6 damage now
Yeah, that's
from the
double.
shield
That's
slam.
double impervious.
This might be a dead Hokusai. There it
Yep. Here
is.
comes. So shield slam, apply slow to target this enemy and deal piercing damage to them equal to the caster's armor value.
Puts him
Hogosai
down to
has
one.
2 armor naturally, and then double impervious makes his armor 6. So that's slow and 6 piercing to Hogosai.
And I assume that was a skirmish first. So now he. So has he got a flip for the skirmish, or did they already do that? And flips the ultimate. He is gone. There goes Hokusai. Tapeworm gets to draw 2 cards. Gets to count 1
Yeah,
on the onslaught. Nelaquin
you know
comes in.
that stone barricade would have been nice casted from Hogosai instead of Takali.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, I
looks
think
like
he thought that his
Commander.
Takali was going to get burnt down. That's what he was worried about.
Yeah, I think Commander misjudged where that was going.
Yep.
I mean, if Hogosai had used it, it probably would have gone after Takali. I think it was more, he was able to protect one of them, and then Tapeworm was going to go for whichever one he didn't.
So there we got one on Onslaught. So we thought the tanks were going to get ignored and not damaged, and that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, 6 damage Shield Slam can do that.
Yeah, great play by having the chemo cast the first impervious onto the Hokusai, not wasting, uh, or not wasting, but allowing for Hokusai to have that additional mana.
Yep.
And
And
he also had the
Impervious.
flux.
Yeah, so Impervious people we normally use just to give the hero that casts it plus armor, but it does in fact target a hero. So
Correct.
that's uh less commonly used way to use it, but very effective when done well like that.
So it's over to RGCommander. Now the nice thing is that his Hokusai did not activate yet, so that means that his Nelaquin can actually move and do some activations here.
And he does both of those pillars are commanders, right?
Correct. Yep. Uh, yeah. I mean, Tapeworm could do
I don't.
stone barricades, but he does not
Yeah,
have
I
any
don't think so
green
though.
characters. I'm not for sure if he even runs any in his deck. I doubt it without having any way to remove them.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I don't think he has any. See, he does have 2 pillars on there already for Nelliquin, so he can start doing. He could start getting extra mana and casting spells of any color and stuff right from the get go.
I assume this is where RGCommander is probably going to come in and attack Hokusai with his mage, seeing as Hokusai's right now sitting at 10 health. Um, but there's really no hurry for RGCommander to do that because Nelquin's tucked away way in the back. It can be his
Exactly.
last activation. Um, let a chemo move and do his thing. Let Sakoshi do his thing. Because if he moves up there and kind of gets in range of that control point at the end of his activation, he's gonna have someone pounce on him.
I'm still not sure what the purpose for bringing Tlakali was.
Like I think going back to cards that Takali's
Yeah,
bringing.
maybe the stone barricades are in
Yep.
her deck.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it makes it where all of his heroes could cast Stone Barricade except for Yami. So hoping to maybe shut down some attacks. Uh, on Ashen Pass, it can get pretty congested in there, with minions all over the place and heroes, and kind of having a tighter map. So those stone barricades can be useful at times.
Yep, and especially with him choosing Nelliclin right after, maybe he wanted to have the stone barricades so that way Nelliclin would have pillars out there
Correct.
right away.
Yep, it looks like Takali's going first. It looks like there's a skirmish on Akimo. Interesting move.
Interesting spot. Moving
Yeah.
Tlakali into a place where she isn't going to contribute to anywhere.
Nope, he's
Okay, then
running
moving
away.
over there. I'm
And then
wondering
attacking a minion.
what the purpose is for being all the way on that side. Like, why not just
I
move
think
over?
he's scared of the Akimo. He wants to get away from that Akimo, make it so that Akimo has to use a lot more. The
I guess that's
fear
valid.
is it might set it up where Akimo might be able to run right at Nelaquin and deal some damage. Because we can do a move and then a skirmish and an
Or
attack.
moving a warship, either
Yeah,
one.
moving a worship does it too. And then allows for him to skirmish out and kind of get back into control area. Uh, however, Chemo does only have 1 mana left. So we do Strength over Pain maybe as another play if he runs it. He might not run it with having that be a -1, um, but there's a chance because he does have Sakoshi and he has Yami in his deck. So those negative ones can hurt kind of Sakoshi and Yami's ability. So
I don't know if if either of them run the strength over pain, but it looks like they're going for a lot of high modifiers.
yeah, like I said, bringing that Dark Vigilante and having those two heroes that don't want to see a negative flip.
Yeah, I mean it's possible that they maybe run like one or two, but probably not a whole lot of them, if any.
So we got a move from Sakoshi, take him out of that cover hex. Interesting move.
Yeah, not sure where he's going.
I don't know if he had to move that Sakoshi yet. He could have waited a little bit. Um, it would have been hard
Yeah,
for Yami to kind of get into a kill
quick shot.
position.
That's probably why. Although, why? I guess he's trying to go somewhere else.
He might be trying to go into that far right dome, is my guess. He's going to skirmish out, go into
Oh
that
yeah,
dome.
He's gonna go into that dome, so that way Chemo can leave and he'll still have the dome.
Correct. He wants that Dark Vigilante. He's
Yep.
doing an attack, killing another minion.
Yeah, and then he's gonna go into that to the right dome, so that way he can have a Chemo run after Nelliklin and not give up the dome to do that.
Yeah, I think you go after Nelaquin. Take him out before round 3, ideally, with Dark Vigilante as well.
I think this is where Commander needs to activate Nelliklin.
Well,
Try and pull him away from a Chemo.
I think it's going to be very difficult unless he goes into that dome. And I don't know if he. I mean, he can try to do some attacks. He's going to have to skirmish up to get into range. It might be a tough one.
I mean,
I
he
think
could
you
just
still
go
wait
into
on
the.
Nelaquin. I think. I
I
don't know.
think Nelliklin could go into the left dome here, and then he can activate Yami last and move Yami across to the other side. Yami's worship will allow him to kind of use Hokusai to propel himself all the way over.
I could see a skirmish up forward 2 hexes, hitting Hokusai, attacking Hokusai, and then moving into the dome.
Yeah, I like that. Although we might see some cards do things as well.
Sure.
But
Because right now Nelaquin does have full mana. He is activating Nelaquin. That's what it looks like. RGCommander
yes.
has said he's going to do. He knows that he's out of that range, so we got that skirmish up 2,
Yep. Just as you were saying.
attacking Hokusai with a flip, hitting him for 2. Piercing damage, great against Hokusai.
Probably going to see an attack against Hokusai now.
Yep.
Unless we get a card first. He is hovering over his hand.
Okay. So that is 5 more damage to Hokusai. Bring him down to 3 damage. So Nightmares Incarnate, Shattermind, all of those might have a dead Hokusai.
A frenzy thing? Nope. He's just
Nope.
gonna doesn't have anything. He's just gonna
Move.
move into the dome.
Interesting.
Out of range of a Chemo.
So you think he's trying to maybe set up that Tamer kill?
He could be.
Right? RGCommander
Both
might be leaving Hokusai alive to try to kill him. The tough thing is he doesn't really have a way to do piercing damage, so it's going to be much harder for that Silent Ambassador to actually damage Hokusai. It might be a risky move, but still possible.
could see a yeah, and no Hokusai to reduce armor or anything.
Yeah. Um, I mean, you got 2 attacks. Let's say one gets you 5, it'll block 2. It'd be 3 damage if you flip the 2,
I
right?
think he, I think he can get it,
I think you
but
can do it.
yeah, because he'll be a 3+ and a 1+. So if he flips +2s on both of them, that'll be 3 and 1.
So we got Akimo's gonna go after Takali, I assume, right?
Yeah, there's nothing else that he would do.
Move
I think.
skirmish. Actually, here I would actually not do a skirmish. Maybe do a worship, giving the negative.
He would not have line of sight of Takali.
You are correct. So he
Oh,
wouldn't be
and we
able
have
to do
a
that
Sky
yet.
Tear Discharge. in response to the move.
Nice, always apply Sky Tear Discharge on your mages, giving it piercing damage. I think Akimo still
Yeah.
has to come out. He's not going to chill in that dome.
Yeah. Also, in this case, it doesn't really matter who you cast the Skytear Discharge because
Correct.
Akimo has no armor.
Yep.
And I would like to elaborate on what you were just said about always cast it from your mages. I would say that is usually true unless you're doing some weird stuff that I like to do, in which
Revenge
case I'm
shenanigans.
trying to hurt my own heroes, and maybe you don't want to hurt them that much.
hmm There's definitely those edge cases where you might want to, even if you're trying to set up for that tamer kill, you
Yeah,
might want
for
to get
double
him
kills even.
close, but not all the way.
Yeah.
So
So
Akimo
if you
taking
don't
three
want to do
damage
as
there
much
with a
damage,
flip, then expect to probably see a skirmish and attack onto
correct.
Takali.
A warship is not possible because Kakali isn't a cover hex.
Yeah, I think right now, I think yeah, Tapeworm has to try to go for these kills. I think Tapeworm's really trying to get that onslaught win. Um, he has the Dark Vigilante most likely for the next round, unless we see a Yami with fast. We know she likes to run them. She can run all the way across the other dome and contest that dome and take both of the
So
outsiders.
Yami could also move 3 to get next to that control token, and then worship on Hogosai
Yep,
to teleport over there and then skirmish into the dome.
yep. But at that point, you're not going to be able to lead. You just tie the dome.
Yeah, I mean it does at least prevent Akimo or prevent Tapeworm from winning the dome.
Sure, sure. From a defensive standpoint, looks like you flip 2 plus the 4 damage going to Takali.
Yep, dropping Slakali down to 9.
Akimo also played a clear mind. It looks like. I think we might have missed that,
Yes, yeah. Akimo did play a clear
giving him an
mind.
advantage of +1 on his attack.
Right, so that was 7 damage, and then the 1 armor
So
was
6
6.
damage total. And that is it for Tapeworm for this round. Got Yami coming up as the last move for RGCommander.
Yeah. So if she doesn't have fast, I think we could see. I think we could see what I was just talking about, just preventing Taper from getting the Dark Vigilante.
Sure.
Seems strong.
Um,
Alternatively, what's the math like in the center?
right now we got Hokusai and Akimo +1. So the Tapeworm has 3 in the middle. And right now our RG only has 2 with his minion and Takali.
So if he was able, like, if he had like a fast and could, kill a minion and
Yes.
lead.
So skirmish, if he has a fast, it's the right play. You skirmish into the center lane, you fast across, killing that one last minion, moving yourself in the dome, and doing the final action as a lead.
I think actually, if he has fast and is able to kill the minion, he could lead in the center and potentially get a Nexus disruption. But there's no fast anyway.
Mm, yeah, yeah. If he has a 3 in hand, that's the concern. So he's doing the worship move, get himself next to uh, Hokusai.
No, he would have been 1 short if he did what I was talking about. I would have only got 4 damage to the tower.
Yeah. Okay.
And he didn't have the fast anyway.
Yeah.
So this is
But
what I was saying before. I think the move and then going to worship onto
yeah,
Hokusai and then get into the other dome.
and then neutralize that dome.
Yeah, just going to get the tie. He'll get the Solemn Ambassador.
He just threw. Oh, there was his time glitch. He just flipped it when he did the damage to Hokusai.
Yeah, but now Hokusai's down to 2, which
Yeah.
is going to make
Yep.
it even easier for the Sound Ambassador to get that kill.
So is he gonna skirmish as his last action? If
Yes.
he, yeah, that's what I would do too. I would do it against Sakoshi.
Yeah,
Two
I
more
would agree.
damage.
Now he could use the. No, never mind. Sound Ambassador is not going to be able to get to Sakoshi.
No. Silent
He's just going
Ambassador
to pick
looks like
out
he's probably gonna
Hokusai.
go after that Hokusai there. Probably spawn in the same location. Um, I don't see him skirmishing. Maybe what do a move, kind of go to that northern position of Hokusai right next to the control point, attack, and then maybe skirmish into the dome to do another hit on Sakoshi.
Or he can just stay right there, attack, hopefully kill Hokusai with just the attack, and then maybe like
Oh, she has range, right?
hit Kimo. Yeah, can also just kill Hokusai
Okay,
and then
yeah.
maybe
Silent
get some
Ambassador
damage on
is
Sethru or
range.
Kimo.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Actually, or does Sethru spawn?
If he kills Hokusai, Sethru would spawn. Yeah.
So then he could actually start pumping in some damage into Sethru. Um,
Yeah.
I guess it
Can use
doesn't matter. His
the
chemo's
stone storm to
down
potentially
by
slow.
1 health point already.
Yeah. The stone storm does slow, so the being able to slow
So
Sethru might be relevant.
here's an interesting play, right? Does he do the stone storm, right? No, not sorcerer. Wormhole. Swap Hokusai with a chemo, right? It allows for Hokusai chemo to be further away from his heroes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that would be interesting. Although Yami is over on that side, but
Yep. But Yami has health, right? Yami's not Hokusai and or sorry, not Nelaquin and not Takali, right? And she has an armor.
oh yeah, no, definitely. I think I don't I think he should keep the sound ambassador right there. It looked like he was thinking about moving it. I think that's the spot to have it. So that way, I think I like just killing Hokusai and then trying to use the stone storm to slow Sethru from the positions that he has his heroes. A slow
Looks
Sethru
like
seems
he's
to be able to do a whole lot of
is he
damage.
doing an attack here? I think he's got he flipped his deck there. Yeah, I think that is an attack on Hokusai. He's just taking care of
So
him.
yeah, that's a +2, so that'll kill
Yep.
Hokusai.
So Hokusai's dead, giving
Yep,
RGE Commander Tamer and an
yep.
onslaught.
And 2 cards. Sethru should spawn now.
Yeah. So actually, is that actually that's what you do? You swap you wormhole Setharu with the chemo, right?
I would just slow Sethru. I think. I mean, I guess it depends on who he's more afraid of, Sethru or.
I think he's afraid of his chemo doing some damage to Nelaquin or to Takali, right?
I mean, they could both do a lot of damage. This is going to be turn 3. What
But
what
a chemo
what ultimate have
is
you seen?
already near him and doesn't have to move. He can worship. Like also Tapeworm gets to go first.
Uh, all of Tapeworm's ultimates are in his discard right now,
Okay.
so he doesn't have to worry about any of the ultimates. Commander doesn't at least.
So
Um,
Commander, I think,
in
still
terms
thinking about
of
his other two actions.
Commander's ultimates, Slakali and Nelliclins are in the discard. Hogosai's and Yami's are not. Hogosai's dead though, but
Yeah. So I still think he's thinking about those attack. He's skirmishing against. Wow, interesting. I wouldn't have moved him. I would have kept Akimo kind of trapped a little bit, but like,
yeah,
huh?
I agree with you there.
What's his last action?
Yeah, he has the stone. Yeah, he's doing the stone, so I'm gonna
Yep.
slow Sethru.
Wow.
Oh, I see the reason for this for the going to that location.
And the
It
damage.
prevents Sethru from moving after the stone storm, moving and skirmishing into the dome and being able to get to
or go into
Nullifier.
cover.
Yeah. Also prevents from going
So
into
it
cover.
slows him. He
I see
deals
it.
4 damage to him, and he prevents him going from cover. Hey,
So here's the real question.
Corito, we are going into round 3.
Here's the real question. Does Tapeworm remember that he has the flux?
Um, yeah, there. I think he's saving the flux for Setharu. I think he wants to
Okay.
be able to play those cards from hand, right? He gets to play 2 Nightmares Incarnates or maybe 2 Shatter Minds, right? And actually do some damage. He can maybe do some worship. So now he worships right next to Chemo. He can hit Nelaquin, take Nelaquin down real quick with a couple casts, and then even move into range to be able to hit uh, Takali. I think he's going to try to maybe attack Takali um, and kill her, but
They're
he might not
talking
do
about
it
something.
first.
I'm not sure what they're talking about right now.
I think they're going to the next round.
Yeah, so Tapeworm readied all of his heroes, but they haven't discarded any of their cards yet. It looks like they're discussing something.
Yeah, they're RGCommander now resetting everyone.
Okay.
We do have to deactivate Hokusai.
Hokusai is already
It's funny, both
deactivated.
Hokusais, the tanks, they're dead.
Yeah, first hero's dead with the tanks, obviously,
That's
right?
crazy. So if you want to exhaust them, yeah, there you go.
Yep. I'm also playing the
So,
mark and flow out of there. The dead heroes cannot have conditions.
yes. So we're going over Tapeworm. He gets first activation. It's a tough one of who he's gonna get because his Sakoshi is pretty much gonna be dead if he leaves it over by Yami over there.
Looking at the HPs right now, it does look like Commander does have a little bit of an advantage, but the fact that Tapeworm is the first player is going to start becoming very relevant.
Yep. Chemo playing a clear mind, so he's activating a Chemo.
Yes, that would make sense.
Right? He did play it, the clear mind.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I'm saying it does make sense that Kim will be the one activating if he's using a clear mind right now. Okay, so
Yeah,
a
well, the
worship.
actually the clear mind can be um,
Yeah, it
reactive.
just it just wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense to be using it at the moment if it wasn't his turn. So worship. I'm not sure who was marked
I'm,
because
I'm
no
assuming
heroes are marked right
Takali.
now.
Oh, flipping 2 dragon punches. That
There are no heroes
stinks.
that are marked, so I'm not sure who got
It's
marked.
Takali.
Okay. Okay. Slakali is marked even though it doesn't say it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna go do that for them.
So we got a worship attack. What's your final action? He's still got 2 more manas. Got the flux.
No ultimates. Skirmish? Was that another attack? What was? Look, there are two cards flipped there.
I think he hit 2 cards flip. It is going to be a 2 damage, I think.
Oh yeah, I think he just flipped two by accident. So
Well, the tough thing. Oh, that was his last card. He's probably going to have to. Is that his last 2 cards in his deck?
yeah, it looks like he just put him back in. I don't know what
So
just
now he knows
happened there.
there's a
I
2 and a
think he
3
flipped by
there.
accident. Yeah, psychic shield and what was it? A discharge?
Vampirism.
Okay, I remember it was a 0 mana plus two.
Looks like he's leading.
Leading from deck when he knows those are the cards.
What?
That is a questionable decision.
Interesting.
That
So
doesn't make
actually, what
sense
he's
to me
probably
at
doing
all.
is he trying to block off Takali from getting to Setharu.
I mean,
You can
I
still do the
still think it makes
skirmish.
sense to. Yeah, especially when he knows it's a 0. Like,
Huh.
you might as well skirmish and get the 2 damage in. Like, a lead of 0 does nothing.
Got Nelaquin going. Rampant Hatred. Here we go.
Oh god, here we
Interesting
go.
that he didn't move out first.
Or that he didn't.
He didn't worship.
Right. No, I guess he didn't want to worship because he wants to clear the mana after.
Yeah.
He might just skirmish out and hit a chemo with the. But yeah, he's not. It's only going to be a +1.
No, you skirmish out and get Setharu. You try to kill that Setharu.
Yeah, especially since the chemo already
Yep.
activated, so you don't need to worry about a
You
chemo
don't.
doing anything more.
Chemo's done for the round.
I'm just saying, if he had moved out, though, it would have been a +2 on the
Skytear
skirmish. Oh,
Flux.
here
Discharge.
comes the flush.
Oh.
Sinkhole. Oof. He's going to trap Nelliklin in the dome there.
Yep. And put Takali in there maybe.
No, he needs to leave Sakali out, otherwise Nelliklin will be able to get out. Sakali needs to be on that hex to prevent Nelliklin from getting onto that hex.
Yeah, but I guess he goes against the chemo. Yep.
Yeah, so if he moves Sakali, then
I don't know if he moves anyone.
yeah, I
He
don't
doesn't
think he
care.
does. Oh, I guess he can move Nelliklin, but that doesn't do anything. He can still end any place in that
Yep.
area with the skirmish anyway.
So that is a chemo. He fluxed into the sinkhole. That's where our flux was used.
Yeah, that was a good use of it. Now, if he has a second Rampant Hatred here, he could worship and remove a pillar, and
Teleport.
I believe that would be able to
Yep.
he could basically teleport out of there, and that would get around the sinkhole.
I am pretty sure that it is what happens. So that rampant hatred does nothing. He's allowed to skirmish if he would like to.
Yeah, not much is going to happen on the skirmish. I mean, he could move somewhere
Go into
with it. Yeah,
cover makes sense, but yeah,
that
I still think in this
that sinkhole was
situation,
brutal.
um, playing having Yami to maybe take out Sakoshi, because Takali is still marked, so that means that Sakoshi is going to be able to see Takali further. Kneel
I
before me.
mean, Akima is also adjacent to Flakali.
Interesting. Um, so Nelaquin's. Wow. Okay, so Yami played her ultimate at the end of Nelaquin's activation, dealing 4 damage to Sakoshi. Sakoshi just
Wait,
has
that
1
was
more
all.
damage.
Nelson didn't do anything other than Rampant Hatred.
I think so.
I mean, he could have at least worshipped and
Lead.
placed the pillar or something.
Lead. Right?
Yeah,
Might put RGCommander maybe a little bit on tilt, maybe, because of that move.
yeah, that he didn't do anything. He didn't use a single action.
Yeah.
He just cast a Rampant Hatred, and that was it.
Hmm.
Are we missing something,
No?
or did they just forget about his activation?
No, he the other thing, he also cast Yami's ultimate, too.
Yeah. So I mean that, like, I guess I can understand that, but the fact that Nelglin's exhausted doesn't make sense.
Well, I think he's ending his round. I think, or his turn. Um, it sounds
Without
like
doing
Michael's
anything?
talking to them about the pillar or something. The problem is he played the rampant hatred before the worship, so he can't take
Right.
it back and worship after the sinkhole unless he has another one in hand. He's sitting on 4
Yeah.
cards in hand right now.
I mean, he could at least lead, even if he could worship and place a pillar. Like there are things he can do.
Hmm.
It doesn't make sense to not do anything. Like at least lead. I am extremely confused right now.
And I think it still puts. I think he activates Sakoshi here if I was Tapeworm, right? Because if
He's
Yami
tough.
activates that, his Sakoshi's not getting no value.
He is hovering over Sethru though.
I know. I think he's wanting to kill that Takali, but I think he can do it with his Sakoshi. You move 3 out into opening, and you shoot him in the bush.
So yeah, I guess Neloclin didn't do anything.
Guess so. He's flipping a 2 against Takali, I think is what that is. Puts Takali down to 2. Takali's going to be gone.
I'm not really sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Yeah, so there's the 2 from the skirmish of. Looks like he's playing a disarm to kill. So that's a skirmish. Uh-oh. I broke the HUD, I think. I broke the HUD. There we go. So he skirmished. It's because I'm gray. Gray isn't allowed to do actions.
It's your fault.
Yeah, so we did a skirmish, 2 to Takali, putting him down to 2, to her down to 2 health left. Sethru plays
And
a
then my
migraine, killing
that,
Takali, giving one more on onslaught. Ooh. I think you got to go into the dome, and right, you got to go into the dome and lead to ensure that Sethru is far away from Yami, and hopefully you can kill with the Silent Ambassador.
so I think RGCommander's win condition here is Tamer.
I do too. I think he could leave
And
Sakoshi.
I think leading with Nelliclin would have really helped with that because then he could have a lead in both domes.
Yep. I think Sakoshi, you leave him so that you can tame her.
Exactly. You don't kill Sakoshi
Yeah.
unless
No.
you're planning to kill. I guess he could skirmish, kill Sakoshi, and then try and get some damage on Sethru.
No, I think tamers you're out. Why kill your guy that you can? Ooh, Sky Tier discharge. Yeah.
So here's the thing though. If he kills Sakoshi, he wins that dome. Can he
He,
kill Sethru from
yes, he
8 with the
can.
Dark Vigilante?
I think he
Because
can.
if that's the case, he could just kill Sakoshi then, and then he can get the Dark Vigilante on Sethru. If he because he doesn't guarantee winning the dome if he doesn't kill Sakoshi.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think at the end of this round we're going to determine who wins this. He's taking the damage anyways, making sure he can contest that left dome. Ooh.
Oh my God! Now he's now we should have no problem doing that with the Dark Vigilante. I think
Yeah, I think
unless
you kill.
unless unless Tapeworm can use the Sound Ambassador to prevent the Dark Vigilante from getting to Sethru.
You can. Well, it'd be tough because he's got to block 2 holes. I think it's tough to block it. Shield Slam coming from Sakoshi,
Is this just too slow?
probably. I think Yami's gonna kill Sakoshi and get the Dark Vigilante and kill Sethru.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Or you just win the dome and kill Sakoshi.
Sethru should lead here.
The only problem is the Silent Ambassador would be able to disrupt some stuff by swapping people. Um, we got the leads coming out. Interesting. Was Akimo supposed to lead?
Akimo had a lead that he just picked it up and put it back down.
Oh, okay.
I remember he led with the 0 from deck.
Yeah. So Yami's going now. Sethru's done. Deactivated.
Yep, that's Sakoshi, I believe. Or did he just flip for no reason? Oh,
Uh,
he was gonna kill, but then it was an impervious.
oh, he played it impervious. But I mean,
I mean,
yeah.
that's still gonna kill Sakoshi.
Was that an attack? I guess he didn't hit the button. We don't know if it's an attack or a skirmish. It was a skirmish attack now. So he's trying to kill him with a skirmish. There you go.
Okay.
That's a dead Sakoshi.
I don't know why he wouldn't just go for the attack to begin with. I guess it doesn't matter. He's gonna attack and lead. Like he doesn't need less action for anything.
Yeah. Okay, we were both wrong. Right, it's gonna be probably Tamer. Right,
Tamer turn.
Tamer at the
I
end of
did
turn
say I
3.
did say after the first round maybe Tamer turn 3.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
My first prediction was wrong, but my second prediction might be right.
Don't you?
Unless
This is where Tapeworm wishes that the outsiders could attack other outsiders to slow the Dark Vigilante from being able to get to Sethru.
yeah, I mean slow doesn't stop skirmishes though.
Yep. I I, I think I think Sethru's right. You bring Dark Vigilante into the dome and kill Sethru.
Yeah, there's no way to use Stone Storm or Wormhole or anything to block multiple holes.
I mean, the other thing you could even do is maybe put Sethru in a better position for the Dark Vigilante.
I don't know
Or
if there's a
not in a better. I meant in a worse. Like to move
I don't know
Sethru
if there
away.
is a worse position.
It depends on where he places the Dark Vigilante, right? He's gonna have to place it before Tapeworm does his
Um.
activation. Oh, he led with a 0 on
Oh yeah,
Chemo.
that's true. Because if this because if if he had been able to push it all the way down, it could have limited the places where the Dark Vigilante gets spawned. But yeah, he could wormhole
Well, I think
that through.
RGCommander wants to do it at Tapeworm's tower. It puts him closer to.
Right, but then the Sound Ambassador goes first, so he can move Seth through with the wormhole further away. But I don't know if there's I think the furthest away it can really go is one hex further where Eloquent is,
Yeah.
which really doesn't matter as long as the Sound Ambassador's in the path. It's the same distance, really.
Yep.
I'm still really confused about that Nelliquin activation.
Yeah.
There was no reason not to, at least lead. I don't understand.
Tapeworm has been promoted.
Better late than never.
Yeah. Wonder. Think. Is there a chance they might be just calling it, or
I have no idea. I was wondering that as well.
Tapeworm's trying to
I
figure
mean,
out where? Okay, he's trying to figure out where to spawn. The tough thing he's got a tall order to do is to deal 14 damage to Nelliquin to try to kill him. But
I don't think that's even possible.
so actually, interesting play here. He's gonna wormhole Setharu and Nelliquin. Swap those two characters. It depends on where RG puts his
Oh, yeah,
Dark
yeah.
Vigilante.
That does work.
So there is still an opportunity that the wormhole is actually going to make a big difference. So RGCommander now has to spawn his character first before I think the activation happens.
Here's
Right?
the thing, though. Even if even if he isn't able to kill Setharu here, Tapeworm has one activation.
Correct.
Then Commander can get the onslaught as soon as he gets a chance to
Correct.
activate.
Yep. There's a chance here. But still, okay. Let's count it out. We got 1, 2, 3. Go right next to chemo. Skirmish.
Right.
Skirmish. I think he can still get there.
He would get a
Two,
plus
three.
to be able to get a plus
Skirmish.
one skirmish.
He might be
That's
short.
the only
Yep.
hit he would
There you
get.
go. First move. Moving
He would need a
Setharu
plus
out of
3 on it.
position.
And now
He's going to do all the
uh,
attacks to kill
he's going to get
Nelliquin.
Nelliquin as low as possible, so that way he can kill Nelliquin on the first activation of next turn.
Yep. So we're going to see an attack and then the AoE. So 3 plus a flip. Dealing 5
5.
damage to Nelliquin. And then we're
Drop
going to
Nelliquin down
see
to 9.
the AoE slowing.
What
1
did
plus a
Setharu
flip.
lead with?
Uh, yeah, if that's a
If it
0,
was a zero,
just it's a 1.
okay, it was a 1. Okay,
Okay.
just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so what? So he did
If that was a
another.
0, that's the game.
So that's 2 more damage.
So here's the thing. If Nelliquin had led,
Yep. Yes.
then that's just the game.
It's a tie. And then
Yeah, unless he leads with a 0, but
yeah.
if he literally needs to leave with at least a 1, and then he would just get it with the Silent Ambassador. Or with the Dark Vigilante, I mean. The real question is, first question is, will Commander be able to hit a +3 on the skirmish?
To do the kill, you think?
If a
Yep.
+3 does it,
Yeah. I think he's gonna go for it, right? Why don't you?
I mean, he has to. He has to go for it.
There, and then you skirmish +1.
Maybe do a minion skirmish or
No,
no, do a
skirmish +1.
plus 1 hit a chemo. Yeah,
Yep.
why not? If this is a +3, he's gonna be so upset he flipped.
So
Okay.
that's 2 damage to chemo.
Yep. And then he's gonna do a piercing skirmish or a minion skirmish or any kind of skirmish here.
Yeah, you might as well do the piercing, even though it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
It
just sounds
it
better.
doesn't.
That way, if you're ever going into someone that has armor. Here it is. Let's see. Is it a ultimate?
Or Psychic Shield.
Oof.
Oh,
Well, but now he
now
can react. He can react next round and maybe
if he
kill.
has a way to deal 1 damage at reaction, instant
Yep, and
speed.
he's got Nelaquin right there. Now the problem is
Yeah.
Nelaquin can only play what is it? Blue and green cards. So damage from hand is very hard to have on those colors
Yeah, because he didn't worship
because he
last time.
didn't worship and didn't lead.
He didn't do anything.
Yep.
We're gonna have to ask about that after the game
Yeah.
because I am extremely confused about what happened there.
So we were both wrong. We're going on to round 4. This will be the final round. It might be in the first or second activation that it happens. We'll have to
I
see.
would be okay if this goes past the second activation. I will be shocked.
Yep. So where do we know where Setharu's ultimate is? Could it be in his hand?
um, he
He just
he had gone
reshuffled.
through all of he had gone through all of them, but he did just reshuffle. He has no ultimates currently in the discard. So Akimos could be there. Setharus could be there.
Setharu plays
Oh, Psychic
Vampirism.
Vampirism.
Let's go.
Oh man.
I love this card. How much is he gonna get? So
I
that's the
mean,
first card he's
if
gonna
it's
play.
if it's any more than 7, he probably just wins anyway.
What, what was the charm going for?
I have no idea. Why is there a charm there? Oh, he discarded hand size.
Oh, okay, he had to discard one. Yep, yep. So now, granted, what is Setharu only has 2 cards in hand now, or not Setharu? Tapeworm only has 2 cards in hand, right?
Yep. He had 3 before playing the Psychic Vampirism.
Okay, so he's got 2 cards. He's gonna at least do some healing.
I would assume, otherwise the Psychic Vampirism doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So one of those cards in hand, at least one of them is going to be some sort of direct damage spell, I would think.
correct. Could be his ultimate. He has a chance to worship maybe to get some more damage out.
Right.
So looks like RGCommander's thinking is my guess of to see if he needs to do some kind of reaction here. He's got 6 cards in hand. Kind of put him in a good position to have some kind of card. However, like I said, right now, because of the lack of the worship, you're not going to be able to play anything but the blue and green runes.
Yeah. What kinds of things could he do with blue and green runes here that would be
We could have some heals if
relevant?
Takali brings heals. Setharu does Last Judgment.
Oh, there's the ultimate.
Is that a
I
situation
thought
where you worship though? Yeah, there you go. Worship it first. Get that out there. It's going to deal 5 damage plus a heal of 5. Great swing.
oh,
Oh,
Psychic Shield.
Psychic
That'll block
Shield.
all of it.
It will block all of it. But the thing is, I think the heal still happens.
Does it with Psychic Shield?
Yes, because
Psychic
you still
Shield.
dealt the damage, but the Psychic Shield blocks the damage.
Psychic Shield. The effective power cards deal 5 fewer damage to the caster.
So you're saying then the Vampirism wouldn't get it?
Yeah, because it's preventing the damage dealt, not the life lost.
Okay. Yeah, then you're right then.
It's the only card in the game that does that, I believe.
So then that makes it where he's not gonna get the damage from that.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's rough. So let's see here. We can
Also,
do.
apparently
He can still kill
Slikali
him with
cast
his
it.
normal attacks.
I'm just gonna move the Psychic Shield onto Nelaquin because I'm assuming Nelaquin cast it and not the dead Slikali.
Yeah. So we still got attack and a worship. Attack and a skirmish. Ooh, that's rough.
+0 on the attack.
Yep.
And that'll still get 3 damage.
Yeah, but he's out of range. So at this point, what you move into the bush maybe? Um, skirmish. You're not gonna get there on the skirmish.
So if he, well, he's gonna skirmish. I was gonna say if he moves into cover, it could force Tlakali or sorry, Nelliquin out of the dome.
And he could play a discharge
Oh,
maybe.
he flipped a Chemo's ultimate on the skirmish, getting to get Nelliquin down to 1.
Holy cow!
We're 2-2 on onslaught. Each player has a hero at 1.
I mean, the problem is he can't get out of range.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like if he could have gone into the cover hex, it would have opened up on like a reaction from a chemo or
Yeah.
something. But
Um,
I mean, he also only has 1 card in hand.
Mind Palace. He's playing Mind Palace to clear
I
up
think
his
he.
mana so that he can play no other cards.
I think that was a concession. He's saying, "Mind Palace is the 1 card I have in hand. There's nothing I can do here to
Probably.
stop this."
He Nelica Rampant Hatred. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Urban Hatred, Clear Mind. Well, you can't cast Clear Mind. you
Yeah, he
don't. You
can't.
don't have. You can't see a pillar.
Yep.
Oh man, that +0 on that attack.
I mean, and then yeah, right there. That's the game. Okay. GG. Let's go over there and talk to him maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
There's 2 zeros in this deck.
Hey,
so
guys.
there's 3. Yeah. What's up, Clinton?
Hey man, the unfortunate flips of those dragon punches every time, man.
There's only 3 zeros in the whole deck.
And you flipped them all 3 when it mattered.
Yep. Yep. There's 2 dragon punches and a sinkhole, and that's it.
So we were talking a little bit. RGCommander, I assume you just with Neliquin just ended your turn after that sinkhole.
I
You should have led.
but I could have worshipped, but there wasn't really.
You should have led.
Yeah.
You should have worshipped and led, just
Yeah,
for as a safety valve.
Yeah, that would have been smart because I had actually that Rampant Hatred in hand. That would have been smarter, but I think I was just unbelievable.
Wait, you had a Rampant Hatred in hand?
Why wouldn't you cast it on? Oh, he didn't have any mana.
I didn't have any mana. I had 2 Rampant Hatreds in hand.
Yeah, you could have
Why
casted
didn't
it and got out
Why didn't
of the pillar.
worship?
Well, I mean, yeah, that was No, wait, no, I did not have.
No, he couldn't have.
I did.
He already played Rampant Hatred,
Yeah.
so
No,
he didn't have any mana to cast it after the sinkhole.
Correct. Yeah. Let's go back. The reason is because I'm terrible. And that play just kind of threw everything for a loop, and I did not consider my options appropriately as I should have. Like I've been keeping a tally here. For my position, I made no less than 7 misplays this game. I'm gonna probably rewatch.
I had a few myself. So. Yeah, the round tracker does not work when the HPs seem to be over here.
Huh.
Kirito. So all my testing are done before I spawn stuff. So
Yeah,
it's definitely, there's definitely something wrong with it. So
I was saying that beforehand. And then
yeah, I know. But I proved it to you. I showed you moving it, and it was working.
So I'm still recording. So like, is there any other questions before we end the recording about the match? It was very good. It was back and forth. The fact that we're on beginning of round 4. You got 2 victories conditions for Tapeworm, 2 for RGCommander. Coming down to play.
2 guys at 1 health.
Yeah, 2 guys at 1 health.
Oh my god, that's as close as it gets. 1
great.
HP on each hero is the last hero for onslaught.
I know.
And the psychic shield to block the full.
I should have at least attempted to act. He's right. Like if I attempted to do Akamo, I was concerned about the stone barricade, which he obviously had, so that would have put a damper on things because of how I pinned him in the corner.
Did you have it in hand?
I did. Yeah. There was no way it was going to get me.
Yeah.
So
shield plus stone barricade.
Yeah, they're so good. I mean, I liked my Silent Ambassador play.
Yep,
that was my play of the game.
Yep. It was great because it depended on where you put the Dark Vigilante. If you put him to your Nexus, then you can kind of keep it the same way. If he goes the other way, then he can swap it, right?
Exactly. So I was like, I have my options. I probably would have. I guess it would have been better to have him pick over here, because then he's even harder to get to through all this other jazz. Probably still would have taken 1 shot if you really wanted to do it, which ultimately ended up probably not mattering. Because I think if Sether is at any amount of hit points, he's probably dead.
Yeah, he had like 4 left or whatever, and so I could have
I
attacked.
mean, if you think about it,
against-
though, this is what saved you the game too. That clutch psychic shield.
Yes.
Oh no! As soon as I got,
absolutely.
whenever we got to the DV round and I didn't kill Setheru, I was like, okay, so he's either going to kill me with power cards or he'll just finish with a double attack skirmish damage flips, and that should end it. And then I saw psychic shield, and I'm like, oh, now it's going to come down to luck flips, because I saw you had the dragon punches, and so I'm thinking like, okay, if he flips the dragon punch, we have a chance.
So, one question for Tapeworm, by the way. On round, I think it was, round 3.
Yeah.
When a chemo, at one point, you just like flipped over the last 2 cards of your deck by accident. And then
that's trackpad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you led from deck, but both the 2 cards in your deck were 0 mana cards.
No, wasn't one a Dragon Punch?
No, they were Psychic Shield and Psychic Prism and Psychic Shield or something.
That's why RG was like, "Whoa, that's an interesting play." So
I was so confused why you were like.
I was on tilt from the weird interface mechanics, so I apologize. I think I had a Dragon Punch on top of the deck, and I think that was in my head that one of those was the Dragon Punch, and I was like, "I'll take the 50-50 shot."
Yeah.
And then I flipped the neutral, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! I have a 3 lead," and it ultimately didn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
This would have been closer.
So the other question was, we talked a little bit about Sakoshi, activating Sakoshi maybe as your second.
Yeah, I considered that.
Especially once he did his ultimate, because then Yami was tapped out of mana.
Right. So the question was what value I could get from him.
I think you could have killed Sakali, right?
I
had a Sky Tier discharge, so as soon as he tried to move out,
that was the other fear. I was like, I wanted to get the slow on Yami because I didn't want her scooting over here and then tilting the dome back over, worshipping over Akimo or whatever. So I wanted to keep her there as much as possible, and I thought the slow was a good play. I also had the Impervious in hand, so I was thinking about double casting Impervious and Shield Slam to do damage, but I was like, I'm going to keep this, and ultimately ended up costing him an AP. Mm-hmm. So I think that ultimately ended up in my favor. I figured Sakoshi was dead either way.
You had 2 Imperviouses in hand?
I had 1 Impervious and a Shield Slam. So it was like, oh, do I do 2 damage and waste those 2 cards? But I played it on his activation to protect him from the skirmish. Mm-hmm. And so it cost him an AP, essentially, that card. So I thought that was a decent trade. But ultimately, he stayed in the dome. And I think at the end of the day, the Dark Vigilante didn't make a difference in that last round. If Nelliclin activates, I lose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I'm going to disagree with that. Because never mind. Because
you have Rampant Hatred, like you're going to do 1 million damage. So.
Oh no, I was thinking more. I wouldn't be able to block you out. But Setheru was there, so that wasn't a concern. So the Stone Barricade would have still blocked you out. So yeah.
Correct.
Ignore.
Although, to be fair, if you weren't going to win the DV, I may not have played that in that way.
That's also true. That is also
things get complicated.
So it's another great example of why Skytear is so unique, and the fact that there's so many lines of play. Who knows what the right one is, because it depends on what flip and where people go, and it changes the rest of the game.
Yeah,
based on those
it's so dynamic, and that like a single change, a single hex, a single card, like fractured out into like a whole bunch of different situations that you did not account for before that thing hit the table. And obviously as the card pool grows, that's only going to continue.
Absolutely.
Which is the main reason why ultimately we want to keep the card pool to some fixed number in the future.
Sure.
Because that cannot keep becoming the infinite possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Because there's at least some value in understanding the possible outs someone might have. And late in the game, you can watch the deck. You can see, okay, I know what you have, which is something I need to get better at, is watching the flips.
Yeah. So when you start to zoom in and rely on that kind of flip results, you're not really seeing those cards.
For sure.
Which can kind of hurt you at knowing what they played and what's in their deck. And probably more players should be looking at those discard piles and trying to see, if the ultimates are there or if those stone barricades are in there.
I think when we get the if we work on the slug thing with the small versions of the cards, we can add that to the UI, so you can see in the HUD what the flips are as opposed
Yeah.
to just the modifier.
That'd be good.
That could be useful.
So you're telling
Yeah,
us you're teasing on what might be coming.
I mean, in reality, you know what I could do even before we do any of that stuff is put a text box next to the flips, like just to the left and right of the flips that show up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So the left hand circle gets to the left hand side, the right hand circle gets to the right hand side, and just put the name of the card.
Oh sure, yeah, that's helpful.
I mean, that's easy.
That's easy. Yeah, you can do that on your wife's laptop.
I could do that on my wife's laptop. I'm not going to, but
no,
I
know. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna sign off here. Congratulations to RGCommander for wonderful win.
GG RG.
Yeah,
good game, Tapeworm. This was excellent.
It was exciting to watch. We called. I called Outsider turn 3. You guys took it to turn 4. Carito said Tamer turn 1 or 2. So both.
Well, honestly, his Tamer getting that early, I was super scared of. It changed a lot of my plans. I was like, I can't let him get that. But
I said Tamer 2 and then changed to 3.
Tamer 2 is tough.
I was gonna say, so did you undervalue me that much that you thought he was gonna roll over? Because I certainly wasn't gonna go for a quick Tamer kill, man. I feel targeted once again by Carito.
We're gonna have you guys settle this on the field. You know.
I hope not. I hate this.
Challenge accepted. We'll see
next
it next time
I'm bringing
Ken. Right?
No. Please do not. No.
Ken Wee's coming. You know it.
Do not give people bad ideas.
Okay, guys. Have a great night.
I'm gonna bring 4 Ken Wees.